Welcome back, guys. This is Nick from Nick's Archery. I'm currently in the indoor archery range at Paringa Archers in Launceston. They're doing a shoot outside, and I don't really feel like doing a shoot today. At least not out there. I'm going to do some indoor work and do a bit of work on my indoor. And I thought I'd take some time to talk a bit about grip and grip pressure and grip placement and all these things got to do with grip. Now, when it comes to grip, it's probably one of the most important things because there are only two contact points when it comes to shooting a bow, and that is both of your hands. And when it comes to grip on your bow, this is probably maybe one of the most important things because it is one of those contact points that you are touching on the bow. And when it comes to grip, you can do a lot of things of talking it left or right. Okay, so when we talk about grip, the first thing we're going to talk about is where to place that grip. So we're going to talk a bit about placement. Now, a lot of people don't really know where to place their grips, and what can create is torque and shots that go off left and go off right. Now, when it comes to this placement, there is a little trick. Now, when you have your hand, this is a left-hander. I'm a right-hander, so I'll be using my left hand. If you're left-handed, then use your right hand. But for this video, I'm right-handed. So you'll have your hand, okay? Now, you've got all these lines that are on your hand. The only line that we're going to worry about in archery is this line that runs around here. It's basically around your thumb, okay? Now what we want to do as a grip, your grip will be bigger than this, but your grip wants to be placement just in here, okay? Nearly in line with that little crease there, right? Right down smack bang in the middle. Now, as a little trick, you don't ever want to go outside this line, okay? Because if you keep it inside this line, this will help with your torque, creating less torque, and also your pressure. So when you have this right smack back in the middle, you want to make sure that you don't kick it out this way, otherwise you're going to be putting pressure up on here, and you don't want to be kicking out this way because you'll be pushing pressure down here. All that pressure you want is going to be evenly pushed and pressed all up here. And what that creates is something that can give you a lot more stability when it comes to pressure. So, placement here, okay? Always here. Now when it comes to bigger grips and smaller grips, your surface area with bigger grips is going to be harder to find because it's going to be, you know, bigger than this and might be that big, where smaller grips like a compound might be just like that. Maybe even being just like that anyway. So when we have our grip and we found our placement, the next step is pressure. A lot of people like to push and pull with their pressure. A lot of people just push, a lot of people just pull. A lot of people don't use any at all. Now, how much pressure you should put on, that is up to the archer, and it is something for you to find yourself. For me, I don't put any, none at all. And there's a little trick. If you can get that placement right in there, there's a little thing called in archery called bone on bone. And when we have bone on bone, we have that grip in place, so when we raise up and all that pressure is going into there, right, into that grip placement that we had before, that's going to go up the arm to our first elbow, into a shoulder, into our elbow. So when we come up and draw back, it's going straight through us. And that's where alignment comes in as well. So you can be a lot more steadier. Now, if you are slightly outside that line, like here or here, all that pressure is going to be at the top of your hand or the bottom of your hand, okay? And what that creates is you're going to shake like this. Your front hand is going to shake and your body's going to stay still and you're going to be wondering what's going on. It's a lot easier for an archer to be able to have that pressure go up and through their body and keep their body flat and straight than it is to be able to just keep it all on one hand. Now, when it comes to this, this will also create a form of torque. This is what we're trying to avoid, is that torque. Okay, so when you have your placement, you have your pressure and that's going straight up, You want to be able to keep that through your entire shot, okay? So, if you remember back to my other video, and I'll put a link in the description below, if you want to relate back to that, we're talking a bit about stance and how that can help you with your shoulders and alignment and everything. Grip can also assist in that as well. The most common thing in archery is the front shoulder raising up. Okay, so when we have our stance, we have that. Okay, if you want to look at that in my other video, we have that. Now the next thing in an archery step is having your grip placement right. So we have our bow here, we'll push down. We always push down, okay? So when we push down, our shoulder goes down. You don't want to put a lot of force down, you just want to be able to put enough where you're down, arm is straight, grip's going in, your pressure's already there because you're pushing down into it, right? So you're pushing down, and what you want to be able to do, string's going to be about here, is when you raise up, raise both your shoulders up. You're not raising this up like that though, you're raising it just up like that and drawing back. Grip's there, grip pressure's there, everything's running through. Okay. Now one thing that we don't want to do is what we call the death grip. And the death grip is something most archers will do, is they will grip the bow and they will torque the crap out of it. And that's what we want to avoid, is the death grip. Now, when you have your hand and you've got your grip there, you don't want to grip the bow at all. You don't want to put any more pressure on because you're already putting pressure here with the bow. If you put more pressure on, you're only going to tense up and everything's going to not flow. So when you shoot an archery, you have to be relaxed while you have that tension go through your body. Okay? So, don't grip the bow, let it out, let it float, but don't have it out, because then you're creating more tension that way as well. You put, putting hand out like that, you're going to put tension all up your arm, and then you're going to shake. So, grips there, pressure, natural pressure, not pressure that you put on, natural pressure from the bow. Let that do its thing, and then you just want to pretty much dead hand your fingers. Just let them relax, let them sit there. Okay, don't have them out, don't have them in gripping the bow. Just grip and let them relax. Now, to find that angle, because a lot of people have trouble finding that without actually looking at it. So if we look at it from the other way, you can't actually see it, right? So the best way to do it, to find the best angle, because you can have your angle here, you can have your angle here. Where do you put it? That's another thing we're going to look at, is the angle of a grip. The best angle is a 45-degree angle. That is the most natural angle when it comes to archery. So if I was facing the target, I have my stance, shoulder to the target, I'm slightly open, I push down. Now when I come up, nat 45. You're naturally going to have a natural 45 when you raise your arm. Even if you just stand there and just raise your arm, it's already a nat 45 already. It's going to sit there like that. Okay. So when you set up your stance, you got your bow in your hand. Just come up to the bow, put your hand in, don't move it. Raise it up, do your draw, do your shot. Okay. So with all these things in place, you've got your angle, you've got your placement, you've got your pressure. What's going to happen is you're going to get a consistency that's going to help you with your shooting. Okay? Because you don't want all that pressure in your hand, you want all that pressure going through your entire body, because your hand's going to get way tired much quicker than your whole body is. Okay? You want to be able to do 100, 200 shots the same. So you want that pressure going through your whole body all the time. Use your whole body, it's going to be a lot better than using your whole hand. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple shots for you, and I'm going to go through my process of what I use in my grip, and I'll do a couple shots for you. So now I'm on the archery range, on the indoors of the Peringer Archers, and I'm just going to go through the process of how to find that grip and grip placement, and how I use it to shoot. Now, when it comes to finding that angle, remember we talk about having that flat and just raising it up, having your nat 45. That's what we're going to do. That first step, and when we pick up the bow, okay? So when we have our bow and we pick it up and we get ready, put our finger sling in, going to start on the ground, just here. Now, as you can see, my grip's already there naturally because I've done this tons of times. Now, what we're going to have with our bow is I'm going to sit it here. I'm going to have a hand just relaxed, nice and relaxed, and all we're going to do is just raise it up until we hit that grip, right? Hit the grip, and then we just press down softly. Right now my hand is currently on that 45 degree with that pressure in, okay? So again, we'll just relax our hand and inside the grip, and then just naturally rise up until we hit that guard on the top of that bow, right? Just come up, and then just press down, okay? And what we're going to do then is we're going to try and push our shoulder down, not too much, just a little bit. So we're going to put our shoulder in a position, so you might want to move forward a little bit with this stabilizer, is just push the shoulder down. Now sometimes most people like to do it up here, and I want to push just here, push like that, okay? So if we put an arrow in, what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves set up. So remember, we'll just come down, relax our hand, come straight up, press down slightly, okay? Now, we're going to look at the target. We're going to push shoulder down like this, so we're pushing the shoulder down. So we've got our hand and we're going to release that here, we're pushing our shoulder down. What that helps is with your shoulder is it's not going to collapse when you come up, because you've got that pressure, you've got pressure on there already, okay? So you put it down, pushing it down, and you keep that pushed as you keep rising your bow when you're going to go draw it back, okay? So you raise it up, put pressure, draw back. Now all that pressure that's on my grip right now is going straight through my body. When I shoot, it almost breaks. My body comes out and it breaks, okay? Do it again. What this helps is when you go over 100 shots, 200 shots, this is going to help you in the end because you're using your whole body of that pressure and not just your hand, okay? You can do the same thing with Rika, same thing with any other bow. This is just compound, okay? And with compounds, you've got a smaller grip, so you can get in that groove a lot easier. So, let it see, I've got my release aid on my string, we'll just let that loose. So grip comes down, grip comes up, touch the top, place down. Push down with the shoulder, look at the target, come up, pull back. Grip stays the same, shoulder doesn't move. Go through the motion. Good shot. So I hope this has helped a few of you on how to get the grip pressure and all these alignments and everything like that, because if you get your grip pressure right, everything else is going to line up beautifully. So if you look back on my last video, we talked about stance. So this is like the first two steps when you come to your shooting process. It's your stance, grip pressure, shoulder down, keeping that shoulder raised and not coming in hunched like this. Another thing too, is that when it comes to drawing back and keeping that shoulder down, because if you don't keep that shoulder down, what's going to happen is you're going to draw back and that's going to collapse on yourself already, right? A lot of people like to have a bent arm when they shoot, and when they do this and then draw back and they straighten their arm up, see how my elbow comes up naturally? I didn't even have to try and do that, you know, and then they have to try and get back down. So it's really important when you draw back, you keep that shoulder down already. So I'm pushing the bow down. Not a lot, just enough to get that shoulder down. Grip pressure's in. You're raising up. Draw back. Shoulder doesn't move. Shot goes off. So if you've got any questions, please comment down below. If you've enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe if you want to. This is Nick at Paringa's Archers. Please come down if you want to see what we do and help and support us, and hope you enjoy the video.